look at all the redactions, bro. This is insane, dude. Like, there is so much redacted. Like, this is too much redacted. You know what I'm saying? Like, too much of this shit is redacted. This is like an exercise class. Okay, these are pictures in the gym. So they're in a gym exercise class. And again, though, like, this is the Clinton file, right? But Bill Clinton's not really in any of these pictures. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't seen Bill Clinton in any of these photos yet. And yet these are in the Clinton files. Right? So I think that's interesting. It's a lot of people that are redacted here, boss. But you ready though, guys? You ready? If you want to talk about something about Clinton, okay? If you want to talk about something about where responsibility falls, I think we need to look at this document, guys. And what this document is this is Maria Farmer's original report with the FBI. Okay? This is her report from 1996. Okay? September 3rd of 1996. And Maria Farmer filed a complaint with the FBI about Jeffrey Epstein, and she said it was for child pornography, right? And then there's redacted information, and she said that she's a professional artist, took pictures of her sisters, aged 12 and 16, for her personal artwork. Epstein stole the photos and negatives and is believed to have sold them to buyers. He at one time requested to take the pictures of those young girls at swimming pools. He's now threatening her that if she says anything, he will burn her house down. Okay? Now, this is her original report. Now, she filed this in 1996 and the FBI never looked into it. They never checked out Jeffrey Epstein. They never even contacted her for like 10 years. They didn't go back and contact her until after he got arrested the first time. And then she talked about Epstein and Donald Trump and told him stories of other shit that happened in Epstein's offices, like the night she went there and Trump showed up. They never followed up on any of that. Okay, so this is actually really interesting that they had this report on Epstein. They never even followed up. Okay, this is the FBI. Okay, the FBI didn't follow up by talking to her, getting more information. They didn't investigate Epstein. They didn't even start an open case. Okay, right? Fucking 96. Think about the hundreds and hundreds of women that maybe wouldn't have suffered if that had been followed. Now, that happened while Clinton was president. Okay? Let's see who was the director of the FBI. 96, Louis Freeh. All right? So this guy's FBI, this guy was FBI, head of the FBI at the time that shit was ignored. Right? Dude, there you go. So this dude bears some responsibility, man. For sure. This guy was in charge of an FBI that never even checked that shit out. Now, again, though, we don't know why the FBI didn't check it out. Did the FBI not check it out because Bill Clinton got wind of it and was like, no, we don't want to go in there? Did it not get checked out because Jeffrey Epstein had friends inside the FBI? I mean, it's possible. This guy was a billionaire. This guy was friends with Bill Clinton. This guy was friends with a lot of, these very, very the wealthiest people and the heads of state. Ehud Barak right? When was Ehud Barak prime minister? He was prime minister of Israel from 99 to 2001, okay? And so he wasn't prime minister yet, but he was definitely a political figure. He was the chief of staff, okay? He was a chief of general staff at that time, or he had just been. So he was a biggie in the military, in politics. This was somebody that Epstein knew, right? I mean, he was close with all these guys. So maybe he had people that covered his ass in the FBI. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. But I know that is suspect, right? And this, though, makes you wonder, like, what's going on with our FBI, right? Why didn't the FBI follow up on a case that was reporting child SA, right? I mean, that's pretty startling, guys, that somebody called the FBI and left a report about child SA, and the FBI never even looked into it. They took that paper, they put it in a folder somewhere, and they just moved it along. That's pretty crazy. Now, you know, obviously the FBI can't follow up on every single clue they get. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can't, because I'm sure they get so many reports that a lot of them are garbage, but you would think they would look up, right? They get this thing, and then they get the name, and they run the name Jeffrey Epstein, and they see that Jeffrey Epstein is like, you know, a wealthy fucking person with a lot of connections. I mean, I'm sure if they asked around, maybe they found out that Jeffrey Epstein was somebody who knew Bill Clinton, and so they were just like, zilch it. I mean, I don't know, man. There's no way to identify why that didn't get followed up. But I think that's a pretty big deal, guys. Okay? Yeah. Now Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was definitely had some sort of connections to, you know, Israeli intelligence. We don't know how deep those connections were, but there is like some definite suspicion that Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was connected to Israeli intelligence. But guys, it's hard to, like, the thing though that's hard is it's hard to know what that means, because George Bush was connected to CIA intelligence, right? George Bush's dad, right? Like Bush, you know, redneck Bush. Think about this, guys. The first Bush, okay? Bush 1 was the head of the CIA, okay? So younger Bush was like connected to the CIA, right? Bush, Reagan's VP, and then later the president, was the head of the CIA. So, like, I mean, somebody being involved with intelligence doesn't necessarily mean they're, like, you know, nefariously doing this crazy, like, that doesn't automatically make them like the Bourne Identity. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I mean, you know, not covering for these guys, because obviously when you go back and look at Bush as VP, there was Iran-Contra, and there was all kinds of nefarious shit. They were backdooring with the Iranians to thwart Jimmy Carter rescuing the hostages. There was a lot of shit that went on during the Reagan era that was because H.W. Bush had been connected to the fucking CIA, bro. Okay? You know what I mean? But a lot of these politicians are somehow connected a bunch. I mean, it's pretty common to go, guys, from the law enforcement or military to politician is a pretty common jump, right? I'm law enforcement. That means I'm one of the good guys, you know?